We're back with the bigger picture.
Tax Dodger in 3, 2.
How does the idea of paying no income tax sound? Too good to be true? Well, one British Columbia man is selling his anti-tax propaganda to thousands of Canadians who are now in big trouble. Our Paul Johnson tonight with a 16:9 exclusive.
A lot of you guys are here because you're interested in not having to pay income tax anymore. Is that true?
Eric, have you been paying your income tax?
I have paid all my income tax that I have been legally required to pay up until now.
Death and taxes. Life's two great certainties. But there are some Canadians who say the part about taxes is something you can actually avoid.
The government has not contacted me. I suppose they have. Part of the reason could be because I no longer have the social insurance number. I guess you guys are here because you're interested in learning about your rights.
Meet Eric Ho, running this evening's seminar a few weeks ago in a church in Vancouver.
We have a Bank of Canada.
His message is weird and complex, but music to the ears of this audience, who, like many of us, would like to believe there's a way you can legally get out of paying your federal income tax.
The reason we have my income tax is because of the bankers.
Ho is teaching something known as the natural person concept. It's the idea that if you examine the law that enables the government to tax you, you'll discover you can simply declare yourself exempt from federal income tax. And if you sign up with Ho for a fee, he'll reveal to you the secrets about how to do that. Ho's fee is 7% of your income for 2 years.
Is this how you earn most of your income?
This is the purpose of my life right now.
Confused? Well, so are hundreds and possibly thousands of people in Vancouver and elsewhere who've taken classes like the ones offered by Ho. Some of whom found out the hard way that the Canada Revenue Agency doesn't share their view about what a so-called natural person means. And 16:9 has learned there may be many more people who've taken this advice and are headed for a legal confrontation with the Canada Revenue Agency.
You look at the trouble that we've got in ourselves right now is because we've been taught in society to not think for ourselves anymore.
Eric Ho believes the work he's doing is part of a human rights struggle in Canada.
I truly hope and believe that Canada is still a free country.
Their thinking goes somewhat like this. They believe there are, in fact, two versions of each and every one of us. An official version who's listed on government forms like passports and social insurance numbers, and then a so-called natural person, someone who they say exists outside of the jurisdiction of government and they believe is exempt from paying income tax.
You can seek advice wherever you want to, but I certainly don't see any basis for the argument that a natural person does not have to pay taxes.
Sky Anderson is a Vancouver lawyer and says while the natural person concept may be an interesting philosophical argument, it is by no means a legal one.
I'm sure one way or another going to end up with handcuffs.
Is it your understanding that what you've been teaching people and charging people for money for could actually be illegal, what you're telling people to do?
That could very well be, but I believe in civil disobedience.
So what does the Canada Revenue Agency know about the natural person movement and the possibility that it could be costing them substantial amounts of money? They declined to go on camera with 16:9 or speak specifically about them and how many people have gotten into trouble. But they released this statement saying the federal government has the legal authority to levy and collect taxes, and they're concerned that taxpayers who follow misleading information and accept incorrect advice could expose themselves to serious financial and legal problems.
Are you aware of any legal problems with it that have resulted in some people getting into some serious trouble?
There is a court decision that's on right now, yes. Daryl's one of my students.
So if Ho is making money while leading people on a possible path to prison, he says he's still unwilling to give up his work and says if anyone gets in trouble because of it, he recommends civil disobedience.
As I read the law, I understand it for what it says, and if I have to make a statement by going to jail, so be it. Good night.
Next on on 16 by 9.
And when these things hit, of course, they don't just make a hole. There's an enormous fireball that will incinerate things for kilometers around. So this isn't a question of if, it's a question of when.
If you have a story for 16 by 9, call our tip line